Hello my dear students, once again I welcome you all to your history online class. So in today's online class we'll be doing the same chapter with chapter number 9 of your international or contemporary history, talking about the Great Depression, especially on the country USA in the year of 1929. But this will be the continuation part of your first part, and what were exactly the impact on the USA after there was the Great Depression of 1929. So let's start the class. So first we'll see that what was exactly the impact on the economic system on the nation America. In the economic system, what kind of problems the American nation had to face when there was a great crash or Great Depression of 1929, and we see all these highlighting points, 6 points which mainly made an impact. It made a significant aspect on America while there was a Great Depression, and America had to face a lot of severe problem as well as blow. First we talk about the America's bank had failed, that whatever the banks that existed during those time in the year of 1929 in America country, because of the economic system went way down, they had already taken lots of loans from the other friendly nations, and that exactly made a later that how all the banks of the America had to shut down for a couple of years. Next, second point, we see that the 14 million people of America, they were unemployed. No such kind of jobs because there were no money. So what kind of jobs would also be offered by the industrialists or any such kind of people of those kinds of factories, industries, or any such kind of jobs? And the people in huge number, 14 million, not a joke. So they had to face unemployment, and those who were able to regain, or those who were able to retain the jobs, but they will be given very less wages in spite of working for nearly 8 to 10 durations, like hours for many days. Next we see number third point, talking about the share prices collapse. Whatever the share prices was been kept by many of the citizens of America, even that prices of the share market got very down, and everywhere there were lots of problems that went in the America. Fourth point, that is confidence levels were too low. That means now after this Great Depression of 1929, whenever the people used to put any such kinds of investment upon their financial over their money matter on any such business or purchasing a piece of land, there also the confidence levels went very down. They were not able to afford, they were not able to get that kind of confidence to buy those kinds of either land or just put their money in those kinds of stock market or share market, and that became a very weak problem for the America. Fifth point, we see that in the year of 1932, after nearly 4 years, we see that 3 years, we see that even there was stock exchange prices that dropped to 80%. 80%, whatever the person they had already put their money in those kind of stock exchange market, that also went totally down to at least 80%. Everywhere the people were facing lots of losses with those kinds of money that they had already invested in those kinds of share market or any such kind of investment on factory or any such kind of exchange rate. And the number 6 we talk, that is wages of the jobs became very low. As I already told you, adding with the second point, that how the people of America, those who were able to regain or retain the job, their wages, the money that was been given after their work was very low, and they were not able to sustain their life with the amount in the form of wages that was been given to those kinds of workers or laborers. So this was overall the impact that gave to America by the Great Depression or Great Crash of 1929. So next topic will focus on the President of America. We have already discussed about Woodrow Wilson, who is very famous for the 14 points based on the League of Nations. After that, Harding, who also became the president. And next we see the Franklin D. Roosevelt, who is also very much famous with the organization of the UNO, United Nations Organization, and he became the President of America in the year of 1933, and he belonged from the democratic form of government from American. With the election, he was able to gain a seat as a President of America in 1933. So after being president, Roosevelt took severe measures, lots of steps, program was being taken by him in order to make America as they were before 1929. After Great Depression, whatever the causes, whatever impact made the America very small, weak country, again this Roosevelt being a president took various steps, measures, program for America, and we see all those kinds of steps taken by him. First, we see that even he removed all the damages that were been caused by the Great Depression of 1929. So this was the first step taken by him. Second, we see that all the federal banks or the private banks, they were only opened. That means the public sector banks were all closed, but only the federal firm or any such kind of like a private bank were only opened with the advice of this president. Next, we see that even he was able to make or able to create the confidence levels for all the American citizens to very high. What kind of speeches, what kind of promises, what kind of fulfillment, or these are the new schemes or the programs that we will be trying to implement in America in order to make our nations very powerful as they were before 1929, and even he was able to create confidence levels to a very high way. Next, we see that he also wanted to form a new deal. This was a new policy that was being introduced by Roosevelt, the president of America, and New Deal mainly reflects talking about to boost the economic production and stabilize. How to increase the economic system of America again as there before, as well as to stabilize in the same matter. That kind of steps was been taken by him with the New Deal. But when he wanted to implement this New Deal, even the Supreme Court judges, many of the opposition parties, they ignored, they opposed regarding this new type of policy, and it did not got effective in those 1933 or 34 year. Next, we see that even he was able to set up all the public work administration. How the administration should be very strong, powerful with certain kinds of agenda, memorandum, these kinds of new thoughts done by Roosevelt also made a lot of effective matter in America's these kinds of problem. Next, we see with the blue eagle badge, that was a new kind of badge which was formed a symbol of eagle in the shape, and that was being rewarded to those kinds of person who were doing their work very efficiently, and they have been rewarded by this president. Next, we talk about the improvement on agriculture production. How to make the economic system of America to a very high level, and for that whatever the system, policies that could really matter America's economic system to a very high level, that kind of steps or a program was even taken by this Roosevelt being the president of America. And the next topic we'll see, that is how he, with the help of lots of workers, lots of labor, was able to create or construct dam. And dam was mainly for irrigation purposes and mainly for the production or how to produce electricity. So that also made a lot of comeback after he became the president, and slowly we could see there were lots of good momentum, and the people were also willing to accept the new kind of policies and the challenges that he took after he stood as the president for many years. And the last second topic, that is known as in the year of 1934, he was able to pass the new kind of act talking about the security. What kind of security would be very much ensured so that the nation would be very much powerful, strong, and at least stay away from those kinds of economic problem. And finally the year comes 1938, when finally the Supreme Court judge was able to give their confirmation, the verification regarding the New Deal, a policy which was started by Roosevelt, but due to lots of opposition party, even the Supreme Court judges before, they denied. But later on 1938, by knowing the perspective, the aims, objectives, they gave the recognition or the confirmation, and this was been implemented from 1938 year in America nation. So this was overall the topic, coming to the end of your chapter with number 9, that is the Great Depression on America country, impact, causes, and whatever the role played by Franklin D. Roosevelt. I hope you have understood for today's class. Till then, stay safe, thank you, and God bless.